Okay. Hello, everybody. We are starting the webinar today with sad news. Our colleague Bobby Velichkov has just passed away this morning. So let's start with a moment of silence. Thank you. Rest in peace, brother. Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yes, rest in peace, brother, again, Bobby Velichkov. Today we have another special, interesting guest, an amazing person, a very good friend of us, and of many people in the digital marketing area. All around the world, very popular person, very known name, and his name is Fernando Angulo. Fernando is the head of communications at SEMrush, and he has been with SEMrush since the beginning of the company's marketing efforts and has built its all-star marketing team. He is one of the most recognized faces of the brand, and he had spoken at more than 50 top conferences worldwide each year. Fernando specializes in business-to-business marketing, e-commerce, influence marketing, and trend marketing teams of companies such as Expedia, T-Mobile, PrestaShop, and Bing. What a wonderful experience, actually. Today we're going to talk about the amplification of content and content marketing funnels. Strategic planning at the outset of the content marketing strategy sets you up to get the most out of the content created. And during this webinar today and the presentation, you will learn how to help your marketing team to focus on amplification, not just content creation, but also adapting the content that can be used to guide visitors into every stage of your buying funnel. Before starting with the presentation and the webinar at all, I would like first to present myself. I'm Dido Grigov with almost 18 years in SEO. I'm head of SEO at Serpact, and my main focus are the content strategy, semantic optimization, and technical SEO. Bobby, also, can you please present yourself?
Yeah. Hi. I'm Borislav Arapchev, SEO strategist at Serpact. I have more than 16 years experience in SEO. My favorite areas are strategies, local SEO, and branding.
Yeah, thank you. So, hello, Fernando. Thanks for being here with us.
And, hi, everyone. Happy to be here today with you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Let's start with some information, a little bit about you. And let's get our audience familiar with your personality. So tell us a little bit more about how did you start with digital marketing and why digital marketing?
Oh, yes, definitely. This is an interesting story because it's my story, right? And I started working, well, actually, I started my career as a digital marketing just by curiosity, just trying to understand how things on internet work. So I started creating my own personal blog 15 years ago, like random words about what was happening to me. And it was really awful. But some people, they were visiting, some people were reading. That website is no longer online. But I remember that I was amazed on how many people were interested in what was happening to me, entering my website, searching, leaving comments. So it was really, really nice for me at that moment. So 15 years ago, it was really awful. Right now, of course, I have more knowledge. I have more curiosity all the time. If you're a digital marketing, you need to be curious. You need to love to learn on the way because most of the things are changing. So that's how I started, just testing how a personal blog, was working with my own with my own experience, with my own story.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And what do you love most about digital marketing?
Oh, that's a really cool question. Actually, when I trying to understand how people are getting their results, or how they are planning to have some results, there are always people who are saying these words. I think, I believe, or in my opinion, or I have my own thoughts on this. So it's everything about doubts, right? But if you are implementing data, if you have analytics, you are avoiding all those words. So if you are if you have all your responses, all your answers based on data, you don't need to say, in my opinion, I think, I believe. You will say, this is the data, so you need to trust it. Trust the data which is behind. Digital marketing world is all about data. It's all about transparency.
Yeah,
very well said. Thank you, Fernando.
Yes.
Okay, Fernando, how you define the successful digital marketing company? What are the most signs of a successful digital marketing company according to you?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, just a second. Congratulations for 6 million people using SEMrush. Your tool really rocks. We use it every day in our work, and it's really useful and help us a lot to develop our work strategies, plans for clients, etc. Really amazing work.
And to be honest, we are very big fans of the API.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's good to hear. And yes, yesterday we reached 6 million users. So that's crazy, good, right? Yeah. 6 million users is like in a small country full of marketers, right? And how many people live in Bulgaria? 6 million?
7 million.
Okay. Yeah,
so
we need
basically it's almost the whole country. I mean, Bulgaria is using SEMrush.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. That's really crazy. So I believe that's a sign of success, because when we achieved 100,000 around 6 years ago, it was, oh my God, that was tough to say. Oh, well, we have 100,000. Then 3 years ago, we have 1 million. Then after 6 months, 2 million. Then 3 million. Then 4 million. In less than 3 months, we have from 5 million to 6 million. It's impressive. I believe this is because people, they understood the need of having a visibility tool that can empower what you are doing in the digital marketing world. So in order to have more chances to be visible for people, for users, you need to have a tool. Whatever the name it is, right now the name, of course, is SEMrush. You need to have a tool in order to make your stuff better, to improve all the results that you're having. And answering your question, I believe that one of the metrics to say this is a really good company, this is a successful company, is, of course, the people who are working there. The first metric, if you have really good people who are engaged and who love what they're doing, you're going to be seeing just professionals working there saying, okay, yes, we can handle this. We have all the KPIs. We have all the tools to do that. So professional people working in the company are the first sign of a successful company. The second metric, I will say, will be the system that that company is using for organizing their own environment internally. So the internal workflows. They are using Kanban, they are using Scrum, they are using any other workflow for having better results. So they need to have any workflow. They cannot be just a chaotic system of persons working in different silos. So they need to know what they are doing. So if you have the chance to know how that company is working internally, that's great. And the third and most important one is the clients. the clients that that company has are really important. They are big. They are also professionals. They are reviewing the things that you are doing online. They are leaving you comments. They are participating. They are active in your community. So if you have really good clients, they're going to be really engaged with the things that you are doing. So people internally in the company and the users who are paying for your services. Those are three metrics for a really successful company, in my opinion.
Yeah, that is absolutely great. Okay, let's go straight forward to the main topic today. But first, let's define the importance of the content marketing, especially in 2020. And let's start with what exactly content marketing is today, in your opinion. We are sure, and we have observed so many times that things have changed during the years. How would you define the content marketing today?
Yes, today, content marketing, in my opinion, of course, is another product, is another way of attracting people to your store, to your blog, to all the services or products that you want to offer. And you need to think about content as another product. It's not only the words, the images, the videos, but it's an entirely working ecosystem that is all about attracting people to be more engaged with your message, with your brand message. So if you want to think about content just like a piece of paper or just random words that are in your webpage, you are just losing your time. You need to think about content as a product. So you need to promote it. You need to work really hard to be the best product on the market because there's a lot of competition there. And you need to invest a lot of time, resources to be unique and to be consistent in your own niche. So content is another product that you need to provide to your users.
Yeah, that is absolutely a very great explanation of content marketing today. Yes, exactly. What do you think about the planning in the content marketing area? Many people still neglect it, and they just kind of forget to prepare these boring planning documents, like spreadsheets, like Excel docs or something, Excel or Word docs, and so on. And at any point, at any time, any moment during the whole marketing activities, they are kind of lost in nothing actually. So would you put more emphasis on the planning and let's say it that way? How tools like SEMrush and the sub-tools of SEMrush help the companies to plan their content marketing?
Yes, brilliant. Well, actually, one of the strategies that is working really well these days, and actually the last couple of years too, but these days essentially because most of the people are online, everybody's at home for the last I would say already 4 months, and the time that people are consuming content has increased really high. We need to say here that if you are planning your content, you need to have a strategy first. The strategy that we are using, for example, is very simple, is the 20, 80%, 20%, 80% strategy, which is 20% of your time you are into content creation. 80% of your time you are into content promotion. So yes, don't have a lot of insights, analytics just for creating the content. You need to have those insights for promoting the content and for be more visible, attracting more mentions online, attracting more links, to have more backlinks inside of your, attracting more partners to your content. So 20% of your time you need to go for keyword research, just for understanding what is the topic that you need to be talking about. Second is topic research for understanding what is the demand on the content, because it doesn't make any sense to write something about something that people are not searching for. So just for an example, if you are trying to write about Bitcoin these days, that's not the main topic. The main topic is Twitter and all the problems that we had yesterday, right, or a couple of days ago, with all those Twitter accounts hacked by someone out there in regards of Bitcoin. So people are not talking about Bitcoin. They're talking about Twitter and those 150 accounts from celebrities that were hacked. So you need to be focused on the trends, what people are searching for, write about that immediately. So you need to be fast as well. And after that, having all the 80% of your time promoting that on social media. Social media are the main channel for content promotion. Then you have all the paid platforms that you can have. Then you can have all your videos, you can have infographics, you can create all other pieces of content. But you need to understand what are the main channels for content promotion, which are right now social media. If you are on LinkedIn, if you are on Twitter, you're on Facebook, even on Pinterest, also on TikTok. There are a lot of companies right now that are using TikTok for their own personal usage for content promotion. So you need to be there as well. Be and promote the content that you are producing in the platforms where your users are, which makes totally sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, this is really great. Again, another great explanation, of course. And we usually have to be very fast when we plan the content strategy, or maybe when we tweak it, when we change it here and there. And we have to be to strive to be always up to date and to provide the most the fresh content we can provide, and of course provide an extra value, and trying to provide this extra value when you write something, a piece of content. What do you think about the content marketing in the machine learning era? So many people started talking about machine learning today, especially on Twitter, the Twitter you mentioned. And many people are they're kind of speculating with the fact that machine learning is going to change how we create content, how we plan it, and maybe someday how we promote it, because people are trying, software developers are trying to create some software tools and so on for automation of this amplification of the content. But what do you think? Where is the place? What is the place of the machine learning when it comes to the content marketing today in this year?
Oh, yes, that's definitely something that at some point will happen when all these machine learning algorithms are going to be just populating the internet, and people are not going to be noticing any difference between machine learning generated content and human generated content, right? Right now, there are a lot of services that create with really natural language the words, specifically the words that are really human based, with all our, I would say, mistakes, with all the questions that we as humans will do to, for example, Excel spreadsheets, to notes with different numbers, which are really easy to consume. For example, if we're seeing what was happening in the last match from this Spanish league, right, the football league, all there are numbers, right? Which one is winning, which one is losing. But if we take into account all the leagues in the world, well, or in Europe at least, all there is numbers. Basically, all the content that you can create there can be really well elaborated for a machine learning algorithm, because you have the numbers, you have the positions of every team in the league, and the final text can be really easy to understand for everyone, because it's just an explanation about several stuff that already happened in the past that you just need to escalate to make it more interesting in the future. So that's something that they are already using it. For this year, I believe there are even more services working with CRM platforms, at least with analytical platforms, such as, I will say, Tableau. Also, there are several that are working with CRMs like Salesforce, that if you want a report and you want an explanation for that report, there is a machine learning algorithm working behind that, giving you all the analysis in words, really great words, that you can use for, I don't know, creating a presentation, for having a meeting, or for sending letters with words, with a text, with an interesting text, not only sending the numbers, the plain numbers, right? So it's something that is coming really, really, really high in the corporate level. I believe most of the corporations are already using that. But if you are going to the middle level businesses, it's still a little bit early to implement that there, because the cost is quite high, I will say. But it's just a matter of time when all of these things are going to be implemented for everybody else.
Yeah, and also many people have started talking about voice search, and many already believe that this is going to change the whole internet and how we market our businesses. How do you think voice search will change the content creation and the promotion at all? Well, because the behavior of the searchers and the users will totally change. And this is going to happen very soon, actually.
Yes, actually, every single year since 2016, we were expecting that voice search is going to change the things with content, right? Everything in content, but we are not there yet. We still need to have some, I don't know, more implementation with feature snippets, to have more testing with user intention queries, and for having that future, I need to make a statement. So that statement will say, if you are not right now, if you are not optimizing your website for voice search, nothing bad will happen with you, but you're gonna be just missing the opportunity for investing on the future. So if you have the opportunity to invest on your future today, why not do it right now, right? So if you want to invest in your future, go and optimize for your for voice search results. The implementation for that is kind of easy right now, because the sources for voice search results, we already made a research based on voice search queries, are coming basically from feature snippets and from search features, from schema markups for the what is the name of the schema markup? I believe it's speakable, right? It's the speakable.
Yes, it's speakable. Yes, exactly.
It's a speakable markup. I already tried this markup. It's working. Sometimes good, sometimes it's not working at all. But still, we are in the process, right? But with feature snippets, this works really great. And I will recommend for every business that they want to try start experimenting with voice search, to have 3 basic questions in feature snippet form, as for example a paragraph. The first question is, what is, and the name of your business. So if you go to your voice assistant, I'm not gonna say the magic words, but if you go to your assistant and you say, what is SEMrush, your voice assistant will tell you all the information from the feature snippet. SEMrush is the company that helps you to have more online visibility, and it's a content marketing platform, right? But if you say the same question, what is the name of your product or the name of your brand, you need to have that result as well. So what is the main question, then will be how to use SEMrush in this case, or how to use your own brand, your own product, your own services. And the third one, and the most important one, is where to find. The location of your offices, your services, your products is really, really important. So it's fundamental to have the location where people can find you. If you don't have any offices, so go for the next search query, which is where to buy or how to buy. So with these 3 questions, you are already mapping that funnel with awareness, consideration, and decision. So try to have those 3 questions into your website content, and to have feature snippet for that, and you will have a voice search result with that.
Yes, you started talking about the SEM rush. Let's mention some tools which are very good for helping our audience and our users to plan their content. And after that, we are jumping to the content amplification topic.
Perfect. So the first set of tools, let's work with different workflows. So the first workflow that is for content analysis and content creation will be a keyword magic tool, just for analyzing what is happening inside of your environment. I mean, your niche. You just need to use keyword magic tool to understand what are the other related keywords, or maybe the questions that people are using for identify your product or your services. Second point, from that keyword research that you are doing, you need to identify those by intent. That means you need to go with those with question search queries, with some filters related to your business. Let's say price. Let's identify, for example, some specifics. If you are selling bicycles, let's say sports, some specific words that you are using. Then identifies those who are activating search features, such as the feature snippets, images, videos. People also ask questions, and then work with them if you don't have those results. So you have your list of questions, then your list of keywords, then your list of questions. Then we're going to use the second set of tools, which are related to content creation. The first one is topic research. So you have your keyword, you enter that keyword into topic research just to understand if people indeed are searching for that, let's say today, because it's a live tool. The same example as Bitcoin that I just mentioned. You want to write about Bitcoin. You enter Bitcoin word into content topic research. Then you will have all the trends about, okay, people are talking about Bitcoin. No, they are talking about Twitter. They are talking about hackers. They're talking about money laundering. They are talking about certain other topics. You need to select one of them, or two, or three, or maybe all of them, to create a piece of content, not based on your main keyword, but based on what people are also searching, plus your main keyword. So here we have your main keyword and the topic that people are searching. Let's say, for example, you want to write something about content marketing, right? But people are not searching about content marketing. They're searching about something related to content marketing, which is social media. So you need to create content based on those two topics, content marketing and social media, and identify the key questions that you need to include inside of that topic. And the third set of tools that you need to implement here for finalizing the content creation is the SEO writing assistant, which is really beautiful. It's a live text editor where you can enter all the keywords that you have, all the questions that you have, all the second topics that you have, just for building those clusters of topics. And you can write there the content by headers. I mean, H1, H2, H3, the content inside of all of them, create lists, tables, paragraphs, insert images, insert videos, link to other relevant resources. So live content editor. But what is the difference with a normal editor? So the difference is that we have a machine learning algorithm there that is telling you, okay, if you're writing this, Google is going to be reacting good because this is an original content, because you have all your keywords there, because your meta description is working, the tone of voice that you are using is the correct one for your niche, the length of words that you are implementing here is the normal one for your industry. If we're talking about Bitcoins, you need to write around 2,000 words. But if you're thinking only to write 300, you're going to be in the long waiting list to be in the first 5 pages of Google. So you need to implement also all those recommendations based on your own industry. So having all those 3 steps, keyword magic tool, topic research tool, and the SEO writing assistant is already the set of tools that you need for content creation.
Yeah. Also, during this process of planning and Of course, before starting the content creation process, I think it's time to start talking about the content funnels. And the combination between the keyword magic tool and the keyword analyzer and the information we get from these two tools is something that we can combine with adding a column maybe on our spreadsheet or a document about the content funnel and how we will target these phrases and how we will map them to specific pages on our website. So what is your advice here when it comes to mapping the correct phrases to the right part of the content funnels?
Yes, perfect. Let's go with the funnels. For building the funnels, you need to think first about the personas, the users, the potential users that you have, the ideal users that you want to have. So building those personas are really a good strategy to understand, okay, I'm gonna market my product or services to a specific audience, to a specific group of people who are potentially interested in the services that I'm willing to offer them. So creating that buyer persona is really, really helpful. Actually, this needs to be a constant strategy working every single time that you want to promote something. Thinking with personas is a really great strategy to promote something that you are willing to offer to your audience. So first stage, think about your personas. How many you can have? As many as you have. For example, I have different workshops with different companies, as you mentioned, with Bing, Booking. Right now, this week, I was training a really big corporation that is called Henry Schein. They are big, they're giants, producers. Actually, they are resellers for equipment for hospitals. So they are one of the major ones in the world who are supplying hospitals all over the world with medical equipment. And for them, one of the interesting things is to know what are the needs of dentists, of physicians, surgical personnel, for all medical services that are out there in different countries. So they need to create different personas related to the services that they are providing and to the equipment that they are producing. So this is kind of challenging because they need to implement that with different locations as well. The mindset of the people in different countries is kind of different. Also, the language that they are using in terms of health industry is not that casual as we're used to write, for example, for digital marketing or for a simple travel blog, right? It's more technical, it's more advanced, and in most cases, it's really, really scientific because they are using Latin, they are using chemistry formulas there, they are using a lot of difficult words. So that taking everything into account, they need to be really high professionals in order to create the right content for other physicians, for other doctors around the world to make them be interested on their products that they are offering, right? So for doing that, they are trying to attract them with the personas that they created, but putting them into this funnel. The first stage of the funnel is very simple to create. We have different stages there. I'm just going to mention 3 of them, the ones that are the key ones. So we have the awareness stage. So here we need to go writing content ideas for those people who are willing to use or to buy our services. In this case, we can offer them several mass types of content, for example, for practitioners, for physicians, for doctors. The main thing is, of course, all the data that you can provide about COVID-19, because that's the trending thing, right? How you as a company are providing more security in terms of hygiene, in terms of personal equipment that your employees are using for packaging, for having all in their place. So all the information that you can provide that is basically for everybody, you need to have that there. Then go for the consideration part of the funnel, which is basically a more personal, a more selected pieces of information that people can use. Here, I will definitely use more keywords that are related to not big questions, but that are related to, for example, details of products or specific of products. And of course, if you are talking about health, the health industry, we need to say here the name of the articles, the usage, the case studies of the products. We need to offer them testimonials of the products, which are really good for engaging people to understand that they can trust you. This every single part of the consideration stage is for make them more interested and to go for the next step, which is the decision stage. In the decision stage, you already need to give them quotes, price quotes. You need to give them comparison tables with different products that they can use. So this is basically the most important one for every business, because if you are attracting tons of people, if you say, I have 200,000 people entering my website. So, okay, but what is the next thing? Oh, yes. No, I just have 200,000. But what you are doing with those 200,000? No, I'm not doing anything. So you are losing your money because you are just having people entering your website and you are not offering nothing. You are not selling nothing, right? Oh, you have something to offer them? Yes, I have ebooks. I have my personal courses, or I have something else. You need to make people who are visiting your website to consider to buy your stuff, and then to push them to buy from you. So with all these points of with all these stages of the funnel, they need to be able to finally buy from you. It's easy as that. Awareness, consideration, decision. Different pieces of content in the place. And let's say if you are receiving 200,000 people on your website, at least 5% of them, they're going to be acquiring something from you, which is still a great number. But you need to put so much effort here in order to make it work.
Yes. Okay. Bobby, I think you have a question.
Yeah. Thank you, Fernando. Really good explanation of the funnel. Listening to you, I have this question. Does it mean that first level is more common information about the company, etc.? Next level is more specific about the products, as to say,
or services.
Speaking about the product, services, testimonials, pictures, price, and maybe third last level is that you are selling already the product or the service, something like that, maybe.
Yes. Okay. Let's put it with another words, because here is very, very important to identify the right keywords, right? So for the first level, for the entry funnel level, I will definitely use question keywords. All the question keywords that people are asking around your services. So in this case, all the what, where, how are the most. Why. All the question keywords are there. 99% of those keywords, they're going to give you also different results, such as feature snippets, or people also ask, which are really good. Actually, if you are implementing those questions, you need to create tons of content with the right format. It's just not writing the question and having tons of text. You need to have a really small question about the things that you want to explain. The second stage of the funnel, the consideration, I will use definitely there preposition keywords. I mean, not any more questions, but also only details. For details, in every single language, we have prepositions. In English, there will be with, without, such, as. For example, if you are using, let's say, you are selling real estate, houses, apartments, you are asking first for where is the house with three apartments with 3 rooms and pool, right? Where is? Then you will ask house with 2 rooms and 120 square meters. So you are not using any more questions, but you are using only prepositions. People are just looking for prepositions when they are considering something that they want to have more knowledge or information. You need to provide them with that. Something interesting here is also with the usage of prepositions, Google is also showing different feature snippets, and those feature snippets are basically lists and tables. The last stage, which is the comparison, the consideration, here the comparison keywords are the main ones to use. I mean, comparing, versus, and also one of the most interesting comparison keywords, which is the price keyword, pricing. They are fundamental for closing that funnel into an action. So let's say price of an iPhone versus Samsung 10, right? Or price of petrol, oil, and gas in Sofia, right? You will have a table with all the different prices in a timeline. So price comparison keywords are really good for products, for services, and for having users acting with those search queries. So let's make a recap. Question keywords, preposition keywords, and comparison keywords.
Yeah. Oh,
Summarizing. Thank
yes,
you.
that's totally great. Yeah.
Let me ask and make some general statement. You say something some minutes ago. So if people have a lot of questions, they are interested in our product or service, we have to answer them in each way we can make use. You say video, feature snippet, questions, related questions, all of it. We have to cover all this need of information they have, right?
Yes, actually, I need to change a little bit that statement. When people are using questions for their search queries, they are interested in everything, not only in your company. Actually, they are basically not interested in your company or in your products. They are interested in something that is on the web that it can be you. So it's upon you to create that piece of content that they will attract them to go into the next page of your website, the next statement of your website, or to open a video from your website to have something that they will say, okay, these guys are really good. I see them like a trustful resource that I'm going to be following up next. So people at the beginning are interested in everything. Then it's upon you to create the right message with the right environment, to have a really good website with the user experience really fast, that people will just be having engaged all the time. But at the beginning, people are interested in everything. But maybe you are the one that they're gonna choose. So that's the big game at the beginning. All the questions there in different formats are a great strategy. If you are competing, for example, in some, let's say, very competitive industries such as banking, with banks, that format of content is not going to help you, because the level of competition, the entry level for competitors there is just crazy. You need to create really great ads, and even creating ads, you may not have any chances to have a really good quality score for being in the top of the ads. So for some industries, the level of entrance for competitors is really high. So investing on really good content now for acquiring search features in the future is really good for those industries. But for others, you just need to check if there are high-level competitors there that are investing on ads. Maybe they're not, which is going to be good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Okay. As always, the conversations with you are so interesting. Let's talk about
with you as well.
Yeah, thank you. Let's talk about the content amplification in the next minutes. And let's first explain why content creation is not enough anymore. Because there are some people still thinking and believing that, okay, I can create this and Google will find it, for example. Or I will place it here on my social media page, like Facebook page, and people will find this piece of content. But actually nothing happens. So why the amplification is so important, but doing it properly.
And nothing will happen if you are not promoting the content, because as I was mentioning in the beginning, right? 20% of your time you are creating the content. 80% of your time you are promoting that content, because there are so many pieces of content out there waiting to be found for a user. And I believe there are really good pieces of content that nobody's reading because nobody can find it. And this type of services, search engines like Google. So why everybody loves Google? Because it's giving you the chance in a very fairly way to be you, the one who people are going to be finding if you have the right format, the right content, if you are answering people's questions, and if you are a trustful source of information. Also, if we are also mentioning another trustful websites out there. So Google is a great source of content creation. That's something that you need to have into your mind. But 80% of the people are searching exactly in Google. So having your content visible on Google is a really great idea. But for example, if we're talking about products, right? Last year, Amazon was, well, still is the main source for searches for products. It's not Google. If you are in the US or if you are in Europe searching for something related to products, maybe having your own advertisement on Amazon is also a great idea. You need to think about where your users are and start promoting there the content that you are willing to offer to your users. So for the content amplification, I will say that here, first thing to notice is to understand what people are searching, then to understand what Google is offering as the first stop of results. Basically, most of the people, as we were seeing during different research last year, are not clicking anymore on any results on the first page, right? Because they already have all the information from those search features. They have the location for the restaurant, they have the images, they have the feature snippet with all the information, which is basically understandable because Google, they also wants to have people attracted to their own search engine, which is perfectly understandable. But for a business, that's not something that they want to have because they want to have people in their website. So what you need to do here, you need to create an ecosystem around your brand. You need to have your own audience. You need to have your own fans. You need to have the people who are really, really related to your own ecosystems of strategies. Email marketing, social media marketing. You have your own podcast. You have your webinars. You have your list of subscribers that are really willing to accept all that you're offering to them. That's something that you need to have into your mind and invest time and efforts to have that developing within years. So for doing that, of course, we need to use different tools and have people who are working beside this. In this case, you have your barrier stage, which is your website, right? People are going to be entering your website and they're going to be entering like a normal store. They're looking for something. The salesperson that are actually coming to say, hey, what do you want to buy, or can I help you, is the content that you are producing. So imagine that as another product or as another salesperson that is helping the people that are coming to your website as buyers. Your salesperson is the content that you're producing. The next thing is the content type. Think really well about the niche that you're working, the industry that you're working. It's not the same thing writing for digital marketing blog or writing, for example, scientific journal, right? different types of content, and the amplification method that you're gonna select here needs to be related and aligned with the strategy. You want to have more people buying from you. Create, please, more comparison content, use more comparison keywords, and have them making something in your website. Because if you want people to buy from you and you don't have any comparison products or a price keywords, people are not going to be buying from you because they don't know how to buy from you. They don't know where to buy from you. You need to give them that specifically inside of the inside of your web page. How you can do that? Use, of course, strategies like the one that we are explaining today, mapping all the keywords into the buying funnel.
Absolutely great. Okay, Fernando, what's your favorite content promotion channels, and why do you love them mostly?
Yes, I have three main ones, I would say, which are, for me, it's social media. Social media is the best for me. Last year, it was Twitter. This year, I will say, is LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter for content promotion. Last year, it was Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Right, this year is LinkedIn, the main one. I believe most of the engaging posts that I have are right now on LinkedIn. People are really active there, right?
Yes,
it's people... a good channel. It's a serious channel for business people, not sharing cats.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Any other channels you really love?
Yes, actually, when we're talking about content promotion, expending some money on budget for amplifying that, of course, Facebook advertising, then as well Instagram with Facebook, which are going together. You need to use it as well. And another one is display. Of course, if you can go with display advertising, and after that doing remarketing with display, that's something that is working really well. Actually, we are in SEMrush investing a lot of money on display advertising, on social media ads, because it's working. It's something that people are seeing. It's something that if you are not getting the clicks, you are getting the exposure. And sometimes for having that exposure, for having the brand name in people's mind and say, okay, I'm willing to open a website. Oh, I need to use tool. I remember I saw at some point a tool. What was the name of that? Oh, SEMrush. So just for that exposure, that's something really good to have as well.
Yeah. The task is to go into people's brains, to remember it. Right?
Yes, something to play around in our brains, and after a period of time, we come up with this idea, the brand name of the tool, and we just tap it on Google or whatever we want to search for it. Do you have any favorite tactics for content promotion? We see different types of tactics today, like some creative ways, like guest posts, for example. They are a very creative way for promoting content and a brand, a specific service, product, and so on. And do you believe that relationships building are still the most powerful tool for content promotion?
Yes. Actually, right now, inside of SEMrush, I'm working inside of the influencers team. We have a huge influencers team, I will say, and a large influencer database all over the world. Around, I don't know, in our database we have 55,000 of influencers. We are trying to reach out to them. We are following what they are saying online, but of course it's kind of hard to do, because our industry is really, I will say, big. But all the people, SEOs, are really friendly people, and they love to be in communities. Of course, this part is really great for us. But the content that they love to share needs to have some specifics. Like, for example, the content needs to provoke something like an emotional response. So nothing serious, nothing corporate style, but something that would say, oh my God, these guys are good. Or I don't know what you're saying, but the things that you're sharing are so impressive. I'm going to share this. So the content needs to be shareable. That's the main reason that you are creating content, to have more exposure. So the second point with these characteristics of a shareable content, they need to have a reason to share. So they are part of your community. They want to get visible with that content as well. They are sharing something that is useful for the community. So give them a reason to share that. And also, if you are a company, you can ask them to share as well. So if you have your own community, there is nothing but for asking to share the research that you had, the interview that you have, the next event that you are creating. So ask to share, there's nothing bad about it. And of course, you need to provide an easy way to share. They don't need to click into 3 different buttons to share the piece of content. They need to have that button that say share. So make that content really easy to share. And of course, all the personalization, the hashtag, the press click to tweet, all that stuff needs to be in the place. So if you take all these suggestions to make your content more shareable, you will have several channels for sharing this content and make it more visible for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely great again.
We are at the end of the webinar. Guido, let me share my screen to show the picture. It's the funny picture. Just a second.
Nice. Yes, actually, we have a fun part in the end of our webinars, and it is usually a picture related to our guests, and we ask the audience to provide us some ideas for alt tags.
Guys, do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, the game is we are showing some funny picture about our guests. In fact,
what a great photo, Fernando.
Yeah, and the audience, we invite audience to propose some alternative tag to the picture, some line, some sentence. And
that's a great picture.
Yeah. While waiting for this, I ask you one question, Fernando, from the audience. What is your golden rule in the content strategy building?
Yes, actually, this is an amazing question, because when we are trying to create a piece of content, we are not creating content because for the sake of creating content, right? Have a task to do. We are creating content to be aligned with another topic that we were talking, just for the sake of having an ecosystem there. So in this case, we want to have this interlinking inside of every single content, which is a really good strategy to have all the content that you're creating with a single structure. So the hierarchy of the content needs to be connected with everything. Think about the alignment of the content, and don't create content that are silos, or you have one piece of content that is not related to anything else inside your website. So align your content with other pieces of content, which is really fundamental. If we found some content that is not aligned with nothing related to the topics that we write in the past, we just delete that URL, or we create a redirect if we have traffic, of course. We need to always think about what is the best solution for everything.
Okay, and during our waiting of the audience ideas for alt tags, let's summarize in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe points how people should create their content, strategies, and how they should promote it and amplify it and all. And please repeat again how would you map the keywords around along the different steps of the content funnels.
Perfect. Let's go with the takeaways from this conversation. First, I will say that you need to consider the content that you are creating as a product, as another product. So it needs to help you sell more. So it's a product that you need to invest time, resources, and of course, a lot of efforts. So your company should become a media company. You need to think as a, I don't know, as a journal, as a magazine that are creating their content at the ultimate source for value for the whole company. So content is another product inside of your company. The second takeaway is your content needs to drive conversations, needs to drive shares. And for doing that, you need to build your buyer persona first to understand what is the potential, the ideal user that you want to attract into your funnel, and to make them the realistic as possible, to be sure that the message that you want to send is going to be taken very seriously. So create your buyer personas. How you need to create your buyer persona? So it's easy as asking them what are their pains when they are entering to your website, what do they need from services such as yours, asking the customer service that works for your own company, or just having a beer with a client, with the best client that you have. All those questions are really good to creating that specific portrait of your perfect, ideal customer. Then you need to think about the entire customer journey and to align the content keywords that you're going to use with each state of the funnel. In this case, I will recommend to use question keywords such as what is, where is, how to use it in the awareness stage of this funnel. Question keywords. The second piece, the second portion of keywords which are aligned with the consideration stage is are the preposition keywords. So all the preposition keywords such as with, without, as, such, for example, they need to be aligned with the consideration stage, and you need to create content based on details of the specific product or services that you are promoting. Let's say iPhone with 2 years contract with AT&T. Let's say apartment in the street X with 2 rooms and 120 square meters, right? So you're not using any more questions here, just details using prepositions, which are great as well for having more feature snippets and other features as well. The third portion, the third stage is, of course, the decision. When you are using this stage, you need to use consideration keywords. Sorry, you need to use comparison keywords. And these keywords are basically compare, comparison, compared to, or also you need to use the pricing keywords, which are great to have that, for example, price of oil versus price of gas, right? You have this versus connector, which is a comparison keyword as well, and you will receive beautiful feature snippet as a result. So comparison keywords, comparison products, comparison services is a great idea to have more visibility and have these feature snippets there. Then always think about distribution channels. The 20%, 80% rule here is really good. 20% created content, 80% distributing content. Really good channels for content promotion, social media, but Google is, of course, the main for attracting more people who are interested in the things that you are promoting. And of course, create content with users and search engines in mind from the first word. So the question is about your service. Have the question, what is, and the name of your service, what is of the name of your product there. And the last thing, set up analytics from the beginning to measure all the things that you are doing. If you're not setting up analytics, also you are not measuring anything, you will say the words that I really don't love and I don't like, which are, in my opinion, I believe, I think, which are not supported by any analytics person. So data supports all the things that you are doing with data.
Okay, Bobby, do we have any interesting code stacks?
Just a second. The spirit of the captain. Also, French affair, Napoleon. Which one you choose, Fernando? You like the most?
Oh, the first one was really good.
The spirit of the captain.
Yeah, that is really nice.
A very creative one, actually. Yeah, very good. Okay, thank you to our audience about this talk tax, and we're in the last minutes. Thank you everybody for being with us today, and I would like to say thank you to our team and to ACM Rush and to our sponsor, of course, Serpact, for realizing this webinar. A very, very big thank you to our special guest. This is Fernando. Whenever you talk to Fernando, you always learn something from him. This is maybe one of the most interesting persons in the whole digital marketing industry. So we strongly appeal, go and follow Fernando on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you find him, because you will really be in the position to learn something really new and useful for your business. We will be expecting you next month too, and very soon we will announce our next guest. Meanwhile, don't forget to follow us on YouTube, where you can find a lot of useful knowledge and information in our Serpact series. Don't forget to follow Fernando as well and ACM Rush, because this is where you will find a very big source of information as well, full of tips and tricks, tools. And feel free to get in touch with Fernando if you want to learn something new about the newest tactics, the newest and most useful digital marketing tactics for your business. Thank you.
Thank you, Fernando. Bye, everybody.
Thank you to the whole team. Big hug for the whole team, and for Nicole as well. I was expecting to see Nicole say hi, but send it for me, please. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Fernando, bye.
Likewise. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.